Some money, and it might be a lot less in your bank account come November, because we could have another interest rate hike. I know you had a mild panic, didn't you? I don't blame you. That's if a Bank of America report is to be believed. It's blaming the volatile rand, the rising oil prices because of what's happening in the Middle East, not to bring in, of course, the bird flu. We all lining ourselves up for another interest rate hike. Let's get reaction. Independent economic analyst Dr. Bonke Dumisa making time for us this morning. Doc, hello. Crystal ball, what's it telling you? Are we getting 25 basis points? Is that going to be our early Christmas present?
I think I want to say to the South Africans, don't panic. It is likely there may be a 25% repo rate increase in November, but it is also equally likely that we will have the repo rate kept unchanged. And I'll expand on this. I hope I'm not jumping the gun.
No, not at all. Expand away, because we heard from the Reserve Bank governor that there's a concern around this. So jump away. Put us at ease, Doctor.
Yes. Today, Statistics South Africa, Stats SA, is going to release the latest consumer price index, the inflation figures. And we do expect them to go up from the 4.8 that we had in August. However, if ever that rise from 4.8 does not go significantly higher than that, say to above 5.1% or more, then there is a possibility that the inflation rate for September is going to be lower, because we may actually have some fuel price cuts. If we do have fuel price cuts at the beginning of November, then inflation in November maybe for October maybe lower in a way, and the South African Reserve Bank's Monetary Policy Committee may not raise the repo rate.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's
because
a question
what we've got
of
at the
many
moment,
ifs.
Many ifs. One of those, Prof, and I beg your pardon, Doctor, that's an old habit. It's not going to die soon. I want to ask you this as well, though, because of the Middle East issue at the moment. So mid-month fuel forecasts, exactly to your point, we could have a reduction in fuel, but that would have also taken into account the oil price a couple of weeks ago in the build-up to the actual conflict in the Middle East. We can see a spike potentially. There's concerns coming out of the US and the Middle East that we could go through $100 per barrel. How are you feeling about oil at the moment?
Well, the price of crude oil this morning is $91.71 compared to $89.84 yesterday. And I've not really seen that significant shift from last week, where the prices were really going down. So I think what is happening between Israel and Palestine is highly, because both of those countries do not produce oil. And yes, Iran has said some things which is making some people uncomfortable. But I doubt if ever the price is going to go significantly, because for us to have another fuel price increase in November, it will mean the price of Brent crude oil on average must be at least above $93, which I doubt if it will happen.
I really hope you are right, but when you start seeing jumps from, what was it, 85 early last week, maybe the week before, now we're back up to the 91, 92, and we keep going up about 0.25%, 0.75%. I hope you are right, of course. So what would need to happen, Doctor, between now and the possible announcement of an interest rate hike? What needs to work in our favor not to see another interest rate hike?
What works in our favor is that the November MPC meeting is going to happen towards the end of November. So there is a lot of space to, because when they make these decisions, you've realized that they announce the inflation rate a day before the announcement of the repo rate decision. So there is a lot of space for the market to stabilize instead of destabilizing, and then deal with the issues that I've raised, that if we have a fuel price cut in November, then the inflation expectations will be lower, and then they may say, let us put a pause instead of pushing up the repo rate.
Well, I hope that is certainly the case, and you and I can have a good conversation one day about interest rates staying the same and fuel prices coming down. When last, Doc, did you and I have a conversation about fuel prices coming down? I hope you're right, of course. Dr. Bonke Dumisa joining us this morning, independent.